Thinking they might be at home, I rushed to my former house. At that spot, I was surprised to see Sean being held in chains. Just then, I got a call from Tom.
Where are you guys right now? We're on a trip to Alaska with Lily. Alaska? On a trip? After what you've done to Sean, what the hell are you thinking?
Geez, it's so noisy. The root of the problem is really you, Mom. You only care about Sean and ignores your daughter-in-law. That's why Lily's mood got completely ruined, and it was tough. Well, after chaining up the troublemaker and gave my wife a trip as a gift, and somehow her mood was restored.
The troublemaker?
I was so annoyed with him that I couldn't help it. Anyway, this is clearly a criminal act of child abuse. More than that, I want Tom to pay for this crime, even though he is my own son. So, I embarked on a plan to punish my eldest son and his wife when they returned from their trip. They will return a week later and they will see hell. There was also someone who added further sanction to the two who returned. My name is Jessica Turner, a 60-year-old housewife. After my two sons went to college and left home, I lived with my husband until he passed away 10 years ago. Since then, I lived alone for a while. But my younger son, Mike, moved in with me after graduating and getting married. Then Mike had a son, named Sean. Mike had played soccer since he was young, and his wife, a college soccer team manager, had decided on the name for a boy. I was blessed with a happy family thanks to my younger son's family. It was when Sean was in first grade. Mike and his wife got into a car accident while out and died. I was at home with Shuto at the time, and upon hearing the news of the accident, I just hugged him. The funeral for them was a quiet affair, attended by close family only. There was my oldest son, Tom, with his wife, Lily. Tom is 35 years old, 2 years older than Mike. Unlike the second son and his wife who were kind to me, I never liked this couple. They didn't even come to greet me when they got married. It's even more than that, they went ahead and decided everything about the wedding on the bride's side of the family, and for me and my second son's family, they just sent invitations without consulting us. Tom had always looked down on me since he was little. His in-laws, who lived with him, taught him that the first child was the heir and therefore the most important person in the family. So he recognized me as an inferior person, disrespected by my in-laws. At the wedding, he even said to me, "Lily, the woman who will marry me, will be the wife of our cherished heir. If someone picks on her, I really won't forgive them." To Tom, even his wife, Lily, is of a higher rank than I am. Since then, my eldest son and his wife, Tom and Lily, have avoided coming to our house. Today, Tom acts like he doesn't even know me. Despite just losing his only brother, he doesn't seem sad at all. At the funeral, he's chatting cheerfully with Lily. Then they walked toward me. "Mom, what are we gonna do about Sean?" "Well, I'd like to take care of him, but I'm not very healthy, so it might be a burden on Sean." Yes, I've never been very healthy since I was a child. So I am not confident that I will be able to raise Sean well into adult. As I express my concerns, Tom, who's usually cold, gives a surprising response.
"Well, Mom, since you can't overexert yourself, how about we take care of Sean?"
"Really? But doesn't that bother Lily?"
"No bother at all. We're supposed to help each other in times of need, right?"
I couldn't believe that. Lily, who hadn't even greeted me at her wedding and never spoke a word to me, was now offering such kind words. "Are you sure, Lily? I don't even know how to thank you." I smiled through tears of gratitude. But then, Tom dropped a bombshell.
"So, since we're taking care of Sean, could you leave the house to us?" "Yeah, Jessica. Why don't you move into an apartment or something?" "Are you asking me to leave my own house?"
"Don't talk to me like that, Mom. Sean will be raised as our child. That means the first child and his wife will raise our heir. Then it's only natural that our family should live at home, right? But I really can't live together with you, Jessica. You know, we'd have to make compromises, and you've been through it, right?" Indeed, I had a tough time living with my in-laws after getting married. Probably, Tom had told Lily about it. And she's using it as a reason not to live with me. It would be easy for me to leave the house, but I'm kinda worried about letting this couple raise Sean. Just as I was about to refuse, Tom cut me off with a strong tone.
"Look, it's already decided. We've already signed a lease for an apartment for you and arranged a legal guardian to adopt Sean."
I didn't know Tom had already prepared everything. Any resistance from me would only make things worse. I had no choice but to reluctantly follow Tom's instructions.
Alright, I got you guys. But I'm worried about Sean, so I want to visit him sometime. That's okay, right?
Well, I guess that's fine. Tom agreed, but then he exchanged a triumphant look with Lily, as if to say, we did it. After that, I moved out of my family home and into a flat. When I was leaving, Sean clung to me, crying.
Why do you have to leave, Grandma? I want to go with you. I'm sorry, Sean. From today, Uncle Tom and Aunt Lily will be your new mom and dad. Be nice to your new parents, okay?
I nudged Sean and then left the house. Ever since, I've been worried sick about him, unable to stay put. So, I visited him occasionally, making sure not to bother Tom and Lily too much. Each time, I brought some clothes and his favorite foods. I wanted to help Tom and Lily in raising Sean, but Tom didn't seem to appreciate it.
Seriously, Mom, you only care about your grandson, never buying anything for us. I'm the head of this house, you should prioritize us, the first son's family, over Sean.
Tom obviously thought I was favoring Sean and neglecting them. I realized he had completely misunderstood me, but replied carefully to avoid upsetting him further.
Oh, my apologies. I'll be more careful from now on.
Yeah, you should, Jessica.
And now that we're raising Sean, please don't do anything unnecessary.
Lily seemed to think of me as a meddling grandma, too fond of her grandson. So, after that, I tried not to visit the family home too much. Still, I couldn't help worrying about Sean. I checked Tom's social media to see how Sean was doing. There were several photos of Tom and Lily having fun on outings. But not a single photo of Sean was found there. I kept checking for a while, but months later it remains the same. Was Sean really being taken care of? I was really worried. One day, I got a call from Sean's teacher, Teacher Smith.
Sean has been absent without contact for 2 days now. I tried calling his parents, but couldn't reach them, so I contacted you, that emergency contact. Thank you for letting me know, Teacher Smith.
Teacher Smith is always so kind and considerate. He had attended my younger son's funeral and comforted Sean in tears.
I actually visited his house earlier, but no one seemed to be there. I'm worried Sean might be seriously ill or in the hospital. Do you know anything about Sean's situation?
I had a bad feeling when he asked me that.
No, nothing for me. I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't contacted my son and his wife for a while. I see. If there is anything I can do for you, please contact us. Yes, thank you. I'll try contacting my son right away. I'm sorry to cause concern.
After hanging up, I immediately called Tom's cell. But got no answer even after several tries. Next I tried calling Lily, but no one answered the phone. Thinking they might be at home, I rushed to my former house. I rang the doorbell repeatedly, but no one answered. Just as I was about to give up and leave, something happened. I heard a faint sound like someone trying to suppress a sneeze. It was unmistakably Sean's voice. I used the spare key I had to open the front door and entered the house. But Sean was nowhere to be seen.
Sean! Where are you? Answer me!
I shouted as I frantically searched for him. Then, faintly, I heard Sean's voice again.
Grandma!
It was coming from the bedroom upstairs. I hurried up the stairs and opened the bedroom door. At that spot, I was surprised to see Sean being held in chains.
Oh my God, Sean! I'm here!
I rushed to him, hugged him, and tried to unchain him. Sean's face was frail, with tear stains on his cheeks. The chain was too sturdy to break. I immediately called 911. While waiting for the emergency services, I kept talking to Sean.
Sean, Grandma's here, you're safe now. But why didn't you call for help?
In a weak voice, Sean replied.
Uncle Tom said he wouldn't forgive me if I made any noise.
It seemed Sean still couldn't call Tom Dad.
How awful, you must have been so scared.
I said as I hugged him again. Soon, the emergency team arrived and cut the chain. Sean was taken to the hospital, and I accompanied him. Thankfully, his life wasn't in danger, but he had to be hospitalized for a while. After completing the hospital admission process, Tom called me.
Mom? I saw a missed call. What's up?
He is saying so carefreely with a seemingly delighted tone. I asked him, trying to control my rising feelings.
What's up? Where are you guys right now? We're on a trip to Alaska with Lily. Alaska? On a trip? After what you've done to Sean, what the hell are you thinking? What? Mom, you went inside the house? How come? Just because you have a key, doesn't mean you can enter without permission.
He replied in a panicked tone. I was pissed off, and I yelled back.
Of course I did. Teacher Smith called me and I rushed to the house. If I had left Sean alone any longer, what do you think would have happened to him?
Don't yell so loud. Lily is sleeping right now.
What? Tom, who's more important to you, your wife or your child?
When I asked this, he replied with something unbelievable. Geez, it's so noisy. The root of the problem is really you, Mom. You only care about Sean and ignores your daughter-in-law. That's why Lily's mood got completely ruined, and it was tough. Well, after chaining up the troublemaker and gave my wife a trip as a gift, and somehow her mood was restored.
The troublemaker?
I was so annoyed with him that I couldn't help it. Despite my feelings, he says something that pushes me further. Well, we did get the family home because of him, so can't complain much. But Mom, from now on, don't just care about Sean. Take care of your daughter-in-law too. After saying this, he abruptly hung up. I couldn't forgive him and his wife anymore. Anyway, this is clearly a criminal act of child abuse. More than that, I want Tom to pay for this crime, even though he is my own son. So, I embarked on a plan to punish my eldest son and his wife when they returned from their trip. 1 week later, when they came back home, they were shocked to see their transformed home. There waiting for them was the sight of their house, which had been completely cleared, and me, who was staring at them. Late, aren't you?
What the heck? Why is our house gone? Where's our stuff? Where the hell did you take it?
Don't worry, Lily. I sent your stuff back to your parents' house. The rest, I had it all cleared out. Yes. I had sold the family home and cleared the land while they were away. Of course, I moved all of Sean's stuff to my house.
What? How could you do this to me? That was my house. You had no right to sell it.
I had every right. I let you live there, but I never transferred the ownership to you.
Damn it. I didn't realize. But you didn't have to sell it. Now we have nowhere to live.
What are you going to do about this?
This is beyond mother-in-law bullying. This is just cruel.
Lily said, looking like she was about to cry, so I retorted.
Who's being cruel? Who's worse, chaining a child and going on a trip? That's far more cruel. I didn't chain him, he did it.
I was astounded by Lily's childish excuse. Sean said Lily was laughing when Tom chained him. How can a mother watch her child be put in danger and not intervene?
Anyway, I provided the family home believing you would take care of Sean responsibly. But you locked up a child and behaved recklessly, so I can't let you get away with this. That's why I sold the house.
When I stated this clearly, Tom retorted with a troubled look on his face. That's insane. I only chained Sean as a punishment. He wasn't listening to us at all. Yeah, Sean was spoiled by you, getting everything he wanted. So he deserves to be punished like this. I lost my patience with their reasoning. Claiming it was a punishment is nothing but an excuse that abusive parents should never use. I was not going to spare them, even though Tom was my own son.
Enough! What you have done is clearly child abuse. That means it is a criminal act, and of course I am calling the police.
When I exclaimed this, the two of them showed an expression of utmost shock.
Mom, you're joking, right? You wouldn't really turn your own son into the police? Yeah, Jessica. If you do that, what about Sean? He'll be troubled without his parents.
Lily, who had been rude to me until now, changed to a polite tone out of fear. Unaware that it was too late. I looked at their frightened faces and couldn't help but smile slyly. Hee hee, you too. You did such terrible abuse and thought I hadn't informed the police yet?
What?
At the same time as the two men's startled voices, the sound of police car sirens approached them. After Sean was hospitalized, I went to a lawyer's office to discuss what should be done about my first son and his wife. I had called 911 before they returned and told them about the incident in detail. The police car stopped in front of us, and an officer got out. Is there a Jessica Turner who made a report earlier? Yes, it's me. These two here are the son and daughter-in-law I talked about. Please take care of it.
Hey, Mom, what's going on here?
A police officer approached Tom, who was panicking. Tom Turner, right? We'll need to hear the full story at the station. Please come with us, along with your wife.
What? No, I don't want to go.
Lily, if you claim to be innocent, you better cooperate, or it'll look even more suspicious. After my words, Lily quieted down. And both were taken into custody by the police. Later, I also went to the station to explain the details of the scene. The case went to trial, and as a result, Tom and Lily were arrested for child abandonment. Given the life-threatening neglect Sean suffered, Tom received a sentence of 3 years in prison. I took in Sean after his discharge and decided to raise him in my home. Sean's recovery was faster than expected, and he's now completely back to his healthy self, both physically and mentally. I told Sean about Tom and Lily's arrest, but he didn't seem too upset.
Uncle Tom and Aunt Lily did bad things to me, so they deserve to be caught by the police, right?
Sean had been through so much trouble since being left with my first son and his wife. He had grown into a stronger kid than I had realized.
Sean, I'm so sorry for all the trouble I've caused you. From now on, Grandma will always be by your side, so don't worry. Really? Yay! Now I'll be with Grandma all the time? I want to play soccer once I'm all better.
Sean said this with a gentle smile. His smile, when he talked about playing soccer, reminded me so much of Mike when he was a child.
Sure, honey. Grandma will be there to cheer you on all the way. Let's give it our best. Yeah, thanks, Grandma.
After that, Sean and I enjoyed many happy days together. Little did I know, a dark cloud was about to loom over our happiness. Since then, I had used the money from selling the family home to buy a new house where Sean and I lived. Sean began learning the soccer club at that time. 3 years later. Now in 4th grade, Sean was excelling in his youth soccer team. That was the day of his match. I was all geared up to cheer him on. As I entered the stadium and was about to sit on the chair, I heard a voice behind me, "Hey, Mom," which sent a chill down my spine. I turned around hesitantly, and there were Tom and Lily.
When did you two get out? I got out 5 days ago, Mom. I kept it a secret to surprise you here today.
At the moment, I had a bad feeling about that. They didn't need to show up at Sean's game, especially to surprise me. Could this mean some big trouble? The match was important anyway. I had to make sure Sean didn't realize they were here.
But how did you know I'd be here? You shouldn't even know Sean started playing soccer.
He grinned at my question.
Lily told me. She got out of prison before me and went back to her parents' house. So she even found out that Sean was playing soccer and what team he was on.
That's right, Jessica.
Even if you don't let me see Sean, I still consider myself his mother. It's only natural for me to find out these things.
She also said the same thing.
Okay, I get it. But please, keep it down and don't stir up Sean. What? Why? It's Sean's big moment. We should cheer as loud as we can. No, please don't.
Before I could finish, the stands erupted in cheers as the players appeared on the field.
Whoa! There's Sean. He's grown so much. Go for it, Sean. Oh my God, Sean. Mom's here watching you. Do your best.
Their voices stood out among the crowd's cheers. I felt anxious, hoping Sean wouldn't notice them. I made eye contact with Sean. He probably realized who was behind me. But Sean just looked at me with an unfazed smile. Misunderstanding Sean's smile, they were overjoyed.
Look! Sean's happy to see me. Of course he is. It's been a while since he's seen his dad.
While they were blissfully happy, I was worried. Would this affect Sean's game? No, what's important is that the game ends safely without any incidents. That's what I kept hoping for in my heart. Despite my worries, Sean's team won a great victory, and the match ended without a hitch. But, we still have the problem. I was waiting to meet Sean at the players' entrance, but also they followed me. Even when I told them, "Don't follow me," they ignored me, and I couldn't shake them off. While waiting, he said to me, "Mom, we've changed and want to raise Sean properly. Can you let us take care of him again?"
What? Are you nuts? You want me to leave the house I'm living in now, don't you? I won't fall for that again.
No, I'm not saying you should leave. Why can't we live together? The house is big enough, right? And it must be hard for you to raise a child alone. Was he really being kind? No, I could tell his eyes weren't smiling. I've been his mother long enough to know. He probably just wanted to get into the house.
What's the matter, Tom? You don't have to come back to my house. You can stay at Lily's parents' house.
When I said this, he clicked his tongue in frustration, as if he thought I had read his mind.
I don't like staying with Lily's parents. They act as if they're just putting up with me. They boss me around, and when I complain, they say, "We're letting you stay, so just bear with it." Well, that's how it is. Just bear with it, as Lily's parents say. Don't worry about Sean. I can raise him just fine by myself.
I intentionally showed a cold attitude, not to fall into his trap. Then Lily turned to me and hurled an unbelievable insult.
How can you say that? We're kindly offering to live with you, and this is how you respond? Modern parenting is tough, not like in the old days. A child raised only by a grandma won't turn out well. Who says a child raised by whom don't grow up well?
Teacher Smith came out saying so loudly. He had been Sean's first-grade teacher and was his fourth-grade teacher this year.
Teacher Smith, you came to watch the match? Yes, there are several students from my class in this youth team. Sean, he was amazing today.
After saying this, Teacher Smith glared at Tom and Lily.
You're Tom and Lily, right? When Sean was in first grade, you were his parents for about half a year, but you never showed up for school events or parent-teacher meetings, did you? Well, yes, but we were busy. Instead, that grandmother went for us, so it's fine, isn't it?
Lily said, pointing at me and making excuses. In reality, they weren't busy at all. They simply avoided interacting with other parents because they were not good at socializing. Nor did they ask me directly to do that. Sean told me no one was coming for him, and feeling sorry for him, so I decided to attend instead. He seemed to see right through their flimsy excuses. He told her this way.
Sean's grandmother, Jessica, has been actively participating in PTA activities since then and now takes great care of the youth soccer team. It's rare to find someone so dedicated to their grandchild. In contrast, you two, despite being the parents, didn't seem to be involved in his upbringing at all.
They were just flustered by his clear statement. Then Sean came up to me after a meeting with his team.
Grandma, did you see? I scored 2 goals. Good job, Sean. I saw everything. You were amazing.
As I greeted Sean and held his hand, Tom came up to me and tried to pull me away from Sean.
Sean! It's been a while, buddy. Dad missed you a lot. Let's live together again, huh?
Tom was buttering Sean, as if he forgot what Teacher Smith said to him earlier. But Sean wasn't swayed by such sweet talk. He quickly pulled his hand away and yelled at them.
You're not my parents. When I grow up, I'm going to be a professional soccer player and repay my grandma. So you two just go away.
Sean then kicked them out. Tom couldn't say anything back. Giving up, they quietly left the place. I thanked Teacher Smith for his help.
Thank you so much, Teacher Smith. Your presence helped me keep Sean in my life. I was at a loss on how to handle Tom and Lily. It's nothing. I just couldn't stand by and do nothing. It's your love for Sean that protected him.
Teacher Smith kindly said this. And it strengthened my resolve to keep protecting Sean. Since then, Tom has been a nuisance at Lily's parents' house. However, his parents-in-law tell him to be thankful that we let him stay in our house, and he has to deal with this every day. Tom still frequently complains to me about his in-laws. Unfortunately, his complaints reached his in-laws, making his situation with them even worse. After his release, Tom rejoined the workforce but faced constant harassment from colleagues for being an ex-convict and was treated as a nuisance. This led to him not staying long at any job and frequently changing workplaces. This situation became another reason for his in-laws to berate him. Lily, infuriated by this mistreatment of her husband, ended up having serious conflicts with her parents. Eventually, Tom and Lily were kicked out of Lily's parents' house. Once, they came to my house, begging to be taken back.
Mom, I'm truly sorry for everything. Please let us stay here. I'll be a good daughter-in-law. Please let us stay.
But I refused, saying, "You're adults. Figure it out yourselves," and sent them away. They now live in an old apartment and work part-time. As for Sean, he's in high school now. Sean is still working hard at soccer, and the team he joined has won the state tournament and aiming for the national championship. From the stands, as I cheered him on, Sean shone brilliantly in my eyes. He still says that once he graduates from high school, he wants to become a professional and repay me for everything. But for me, just watching him grow up is the greatest joy of all. Watching Sean on his big day, I murmured to myself from the stands.
You've already repaid me enough. Thank you, Sean.